Dallas, Texas, and the Texas State Fair. Played here since 1932, these two programs have defined conferences, won national titles, and no matter what happens, they find their way back to each other. And when these two meet, the whole nation pays attention. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Run inside. It's Smothers. They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play. You reach this portion of the season, and games like this, top 5 showdown, can really energize you, not to mention helping your playoff positioning down the road.
Yes, you can. You can make these big statement games. And listen, middle of the season, you kind of get in a lull, Jesse, where you kind of get used to playing, and the new wore off a little bit. But when you've got a top 5 matchup and something to prove, you bring that extra juice.
You're right. And if you play well in this game, you can ride that momentum down the stretch in November when those games really start to matter. But this is a big one right here. Lots of implications on the line.
Again, it's Brown. Shakes off the defender. He'll have enough to move the chains. It's first down at the 38.
It's a really good sign if you're on offense here. You're putting it on your offensive line on third down. Critical down and distance, opening drive of the game. Let those guys fire off, get a hat on a hat. You can run the ball, pick up the first. You're around midfield. And all things looking pretty good here early for this offense.
Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
You know, God bless Texas, because they can lose great running backs, and they just go into the portal and they get a great running back. Oh, no. They got 2 great running backs. To get Smothers, to get Brown to come over, obviously guys with experience at big-time universities. I expect Texas to be able to run the football and, Jesse, have one of the best 1-2 punches in all of college football.
Yeah, I mean, they want to come play with Arch Manning, let's be honest. And they know it's an offense that defenses are going to be worried about the deep ball, throwing it downfield. So a lot of soft boxes to run into, and there's really no excuse for why these running backs shouldn't absolutely stat it up this year. Steve Sarkisian told us they're going to be committed to running the football and having balance. Because of those names you just mentioned, we're expecting this running game to be elite.
A give to Brown. And he got 5 yards on the play, 2nd and 5 coming.
A lot of times defenses blitz to stop the run. This very play right here, blitz the linebacker, but man, the offense did a great job. Everybody understood what they saw. Running back understood. Pick up a nice positive gain when they were trying to get a blitz and maybe create a tackle for a loss.
They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
Man, is it going to be fun trying to stop this passing offense at Texas. Not only do you have to deal with Arch Manning throwing the football, but you got Wingo outside with all that speed, David. You bring in Cam Coleman from Auburn with his size and speed. So who do you cover if you're on defense?
Yeah, we didn't even mention the running backs who you bring in, too, who are studs. So, like, they're studs all over the field. This is an offense that, Sarp, when they really get it going, man, the passing game becomes elite. And they can do so many good things to you. But just Cam Coleman and the ability to catch the football when he's not open. Like, it's second to none. Look forward to watching him and the Arch connection and how it grows.
You know, David, this is really what game managing is. Nice pickup on 2nd down to help them on the next play.
Yeah, I think people look at that negative sometimes, finding a quarterback that's a game manager. No, use your brain. Set up good situations. I'm way more successful when I can keep those sticks at a more manageable situation, and I'm not as predictable on a 3rd down.
Working their way closer and closer, a 3rd down conversion, and they've got it at the 26.
This offense knew coming into this one, guys, how important it was to start early, and on this opening drive for them.
Breaks into the open. Got some room, entered to the goal line. And you'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Texas. They can use this first score to sort of set the tone, guys, in this rivalry matchup.
Man, doesn't this feel good to come out, score early, get the crowd involved, get the nerves out of the way, Palmer, when you're playing in a big rivalry game.
Yeah, and I feel like momentum's always a big thing in any game, but in rivalry games, it's that much more important because everybody is going to feed off that first score now.
Fielded in the end zone. It's Sategna. Knocked down right at the 25, and I guess he breaks even, bringing it out of the end zone. The officials blow the whistle to stop play. There is a Longhorn shaken up. Down in the play is their sophomore linebacker, a guy they can ill afford to lose. Motion from the wide receiver. Looking to pass. It's Mateer. Gets it to him on the screen. At the 35, he's got room. They get him out of bounds. Couple yards short of midfield. They'll mark it at the 48, and this offense is rolling.
And they executed that running back screen to perfection. Quarterback held on to it. He let the rush get to him. Offensive lineman got out in position, and the running back sold it too. Once he had the ball in his hands, he just had blockers and green field out in front of him. They pick up an explosive play on a running back screen.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of bounce, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going, handing the ball.
After losing a couple on that last play, here's 2nd and 12. Might as well stick with him. Breaks the tackle. Stumbled to the ground.
These are the ones in the stands where you get booed if it doesn't work. Why would you run the ball on 2nd and long? You stink, OC. Or you get the big applause and you're like, yes, nice job. Keeping the manageable 3rd down situation. Good call. So tough spot to be in 2nd and long. Nice answer, nice run by the running back.
The defense trying to get a stop on 3rd down from the 44. He was fighting and struggling his way, trying to get that first down. Instead, they'll be faced with 4th. They'll go to the air. And make the catch, and the defense will force a turnover on downs.
Well, they're unable to come up with that one on 4th down. I remember this as a player. You practice specific plays on 4th down for those types of situations, and you know all week against the scout team, they've gotten really clean looks, easy to execute against. They didn't get a clean look that time, so you chalk it up to the defense and take note of it next time. You might not run that play again if you're in a similar situation.
And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. Play this game in the shadow of Big Tex. You can get a corny dog out there, play carnival games, and see one of the great rivalries in the sport, David.
It's crazy. You literally walk outside of the stadium, and there are thousands upon thousands of people. They don't even realize a football game's going on, Jesse. They're just having a good time.
You're right. It's part of what makes this game so special. The Red River rivalry, there's just so much fanfare. There's so much tradition. And remember, with bragging rights on the line, this thing just means more.
Just this side of midfield, the defense trying to rise up on 3rd and short from the 49. A quick completion to the left, looking for the first down. That'll be enough for the first down, and they'll mark it at the 48. David, that is a great security blanket for a quarterback to have a tight end to make those conversions.
Dang right. Find the big fella on 3rd and short. Dependable, clutch, nice hands, first down.
Running inside, it's Smothers. And they'll wrestle him to the ground after a short gain.
A lot of times you see these defenses, man, they pull the run blitzes. They understand the formations. It might be a run, play the percentages, and then you got to deal with the big defensive tackle inside. So more bodies near the line of scrimmage. Everybody's got to pick him up, but they didn't block the most important guy, the big fella right in the middle.
Guys, it is Texas who holds the lead, and we've reached the end of one. Before we move on, let's take a look at our stats so far. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the second quarter. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
I think the toss does a really good job of getting the football on the edge quickly. You know, you toss it out there to the running back, you better block the defensive end. That's priority number one. Good job blocking the defensive end, get a nice positive game in the toss play.
This feels like 4-down territory, 3rd and short from the 40. Manning from the gun on 3rd down. Punts it out of the air. 3rd down conversions are huge, and they've got one, and they're at the 35.
That's a tough pill to swallow if you're on defense. 3rd down, you're blitzing. You're expecting to be able to affect the quarterback, but give this offensive line, these guys, credit because they were able to pick everything up and give their quarterback an opportunity to throw clean from the pocket to pick up that 1st down.
And the Longhorns are marching down the field. They think there's room to run to the right here. There's a little room there. To the house. Touchdown, Texas.
This dude's day just keeps getting better and better. Of course, we've already seen him score once, David, and after that run now, this guy's already eclipsed 100 yards. That's his 2nd touchdown. We're not even done the 1st half yet.
Yeah, the stats continue to pile up. A big day is approaching, and they've had no answers of stopping him. So if I'm the offense, I don't have to overthink this. Like, keep giving it to him. He'll keep making plays, and they'll keep putting points on the scoreboard.
And they did tack on the extra point. He'll bring it out. It's Sategna. That is a decision he will likely regret. He brings it out of the end zone, and he's knocked down at the 10. Here comes the Sooner offense back onto the field. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point of the game...
And he will be sacked at the 6-yard line.
Man, this defense is dominating all game long. They have been making this quarterback's life so difficult with their pass rush. They bring him down there for the sack. They're not giving anything up. They're leading this game by a lot. We're only in the 2nd quarter, and this ain't going to change unless this offense can find a rhythm.
Wants to throw. It's Mateer. Moving away from pressure. Showing all kinds of confidence in that arm, throwing back to the right. Taking it the other way. Nice pickup on the return, but more important, they got the takeaway, and now they're in business.
And that's going to be a tough throw for the quarterback to make, right? He's right-handed, he's rolling to his left, and that throw is going way down the field. So he's not going to be able to get all the velocity he wants. He didn't have the accuracy either, and that's a bad combination, and that's a big part of why that ball was intercepted.
Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Smothers. They'll put the brakes on him at the 21, give him a yard.
Well, the defense blitzed on that last run, but it was the big fella on the inside that made the stop and made the play. Great job flying out of his stance, locating where the football was, and getting to the ball carrier. Really good job at the point of attack.
Running behind those pads, he gets a couple before he's stopped at the 18. Here's Manning to throw. Snags it over the middle. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Longhorn. No midseason doldrums for these guys as they push out the lead in Week 6. Well, just as you would expect, that didn't take very long.
It didn't, Reese. You've got to make great field position count. When you've got opportunities, you got to pay it off. The offense took advantage, scoring a touchdown. Didn't have far to go, but they got the points they needed.
And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21. Fielded in the end zone, it's Sategna. Tackled and brought down at the 16-yard line after the return. Here come the Sooners ready to go on offense. They really needed to get points on this drive to sort of steady the ship. Looking for a man, it's Mateer. Fires on the move. And they couldn't make the connection on the long shot.
And that's a big shot. That's a big incompletion. But this offense has to continue to do more of that. When you're trailing and you've got to make plays, they got to find creative ways to push this ball down the field and get this offense in a flow.
Backed up now. Here's second and long. Now the play fake. Looking to the big tight end. A little too much on that one, just out of his reach.
Man, the quarterback threw that ball hard, too. And I know sometimes when you're throwing an in-breaking route, you want to get it to your receiver quickly. But when you try to strain and throw it harder, oftentimes your accuracy is what suffers. And you saw it there on the incompletion.
On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Fires to the big fella. That's a nice pickup to give them some breathing room, and they've got it out to the 27.
And it's so fun to have that trump card, right? Like, it's almost like playing a video game with this guy. When you got a big tight end that can make plays, that gets open, that feels those soft spots in the zones, third downs, money downs, the tight end is always open, especially with that big body. He finds them, and he gets the first down.
Wants to throw again. Fires to the wideout. And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't hook up.
I think a big reason this offense is struggling right now, why they're trailing on the scoreboard, is they have not been able to protect this guy, and it's affected him. He has not looked very accurate. Moving forward, the pass pro has got to be better to help this guy out.
What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? On the ground with the counter. Got 7 yards on the play. It's 3rd and 3.
The counter run play is really tricky for defenses to stop because it forces you to play with great eye discipline. Everything in pre-snap is telling you the ball's going to the strong side, but now they run it back weak and they're pulling offensive linemen. This defense better be ready because this won't be the last time today they see the counter run.
These are the types of plays where offenses impose their will. 3rd and short from the 45. Pocket breaking down. Right on the money. And they'll move the chains and get it to the 47-yard line.
Man, this offense, they needed that one in the worst way, right? They're getting blown out in this game so far, and as we get close to halftime, they've got to be able to put a good drive together. They've got to be able to come away with a touchdown here, close the gap a little bit going into the second half.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Might be changing the route. Wide receiver going in motion. Dropping back, it's Mateer. Caught behind the line, it's Sategna. And he is going to lose yardage. Nowhere to run as he is forced out of bounds. And this offense has gotten off to a good start on 3rd down, but this is a different deal on 3rd and long. We're at the 2-minute timeout, and these guys really need to build a little momentum to cut into this lead before halftime. Even if they don't convert, picking up a few would give them a decision to make on 4th down. It's 3rd and long from the 45. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws to the tight end. And he can't grab the bullet pass on 3rd down.
It's so nice when you know it's 3rd and long, you know a pass is coming, you worked on it all week, get your feet set at the sticks, understand that quarterback's got to be rushed, get him off of his spot. Nice execution by this defense.
And no shot at a return here as the punt goes out of bounds. They take over late in the half, enough time to put together a drive. Play action, here's Manning. Now he's going to glide away from pressure. Coleman's got it on the right side. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down.
Well, it's the first play of the drive, and they're backed up, but you're seeing the confidence this coaching staff has in their quarterback and their skill players because they are taking a shot. Great release off the line of scrimmage, tremendous speed, nice catch. All of a sudden, they're in great field position.
Defense right there to stop him in his tracks, and they get nothing on that play.
What a great play by the linebacker. Do you talk about filling a hole? Defensive line does their jobs. He comes in the hole and says, sit down, sir.
Arch Madness. Going for the big play. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on.
Quarterback could not have walked that ball and placed it into the hands of his receiver any better. That was a perfect throw. Wide out, deep downfield. You got to finish the play.
Manning tries to pick it up on 3rd down. Got his man downfield. He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot him at the 24-yard line.
Well, they have a massive lead, and we're only in the 2nd quarter, but they're not calling the dogs off. They are staying aggressive, and they are taking shots. Another hook up there for this offense. Everything that they are dialing up is working to perfection. They're looking to add already to their blowout lead.
Man, what a spectacular play by that defensive end to come up with the tackle there.
And you see those guys get off the football so fast. Most of these guys are 250 to 275 pounds, but they get off the ball fast, low. And the offensive linemen, they have no chance to stop those guys as quick and as fast as they are.
Manning on play action. Pressure coming. Stands in and takes the hit. Touchdown, Longhorns! And they take it in for 6 more points.
And with that score, this thing is getting ugly. This offense has had their way, and not only have they had their way, now they finish the half like you're supposed to, scoring the football, building on their lead. This defense is going to have to go into half and find some answers.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the kick is good, but there is a penalty flag because he paid for making that kick. I think they're going to get him for roughing the kicker. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty.
Number 96, set to kick it away. Texas.
Not going to get a return here. They'll bring it out to the 25 as the kickoff sails through the back of the end zone. Dropping back, it's Mateer. The safe call on the wide receiver screen. Now a timeout call by the Sooners. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. The Sooners with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Back to throw, and they've got to be aware of the clock. Pulls it in down the sideline. Big play for this offense, and they get it to the 32. And the Sooners come to the line in the hurry-up. Looking downfield on first down. Throws for the tight end. Got him downfield. Makes the grab over the defense, and they are threatening now down at the 15. Timeout, Oklahoma. That's their 2nd. And they'll still have 1 in their pocket for what's left in this first half. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. They send the tight end in motion. They're looking to pass from the red zone. Headed to the end zone. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. And now a chance not only to cut into the lead, but play it just right, and maybe the other team doesn't even get a chance to answer. Out of the gun, looking to throw. Quarterback now breaking the field. Touchdown Sooners! The sure hands in the end zone, and he has 6.
And the offense had to have a drive. They had to put points on the board. 0 points until this drive. Down in this ball game. Needed to get some momentum. Gonna need a lot more in the second half if they want to win this football game.
Lining up to add another. The extra point is good, but they're still down 28-7. They put together a 5-play, 75-yard drive. And they capped the drive with a 4-yard touchdown pass. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Just enough time for one final play of the half. Arch is going to throw for it. Unloads to the wideout. The sure hands, it's Lockett. They finally make the stop, but that one will make those halftime stats look a little nicer as we head to the break. And we are headed to halftime. Both squads headed into the locker room to make some adjustments. Gives us an opportunity to check in with Kevin Connors in our EA Sports College Football Studio Update.
Guys, let's get it started here. Week 6 on what's already been a revealing day here on the EA Sports College Football Update Show. First up, a look at James Madison taking on the Georgia Southern Eagles. And it's the Dukes looking to make it 5 straight wins. And they do that. They essentially lock down a postseason spot, although I think their goals are far bigger than just that.
Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return.
Here now some other games you may have interest in. Social media certainly does. Inside SEC.
The Sooners will get things going on offense as they head onto the field. When you're facing a deficit like this one to start the second half, you really can't afford to waste a single possession.
Fresh start here in the second half. That's the only way you can look at this if you're on offense. Things did not go your way there in the first half. It starts with one play. To get our confidence going, we just got to get something going early here on this drive.
One play, stay aggressive. Now I think I can be even more aggressive on 4th downs because obviously I've built a deficit. My defense has got to make some plays for me, too.
Dropping back, it's Mateer. And the pass is incomplete, but it might not matter. Flag is down, and it looked as if the defense was roughing up that receiver. Offense trying to keep them off balance on 1st and 10. Out of the gun to give to the back. They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play.
And we knew the linebackers were the strength of this defense, but coming in the offense, man, they felt really good about their running back. And so far, man, it's been a fun matchup to watch, but advantage to these guys that have been filling gaps, scraping, getting to the football, making plays. This linebacker really held down this.
Snags it, and he's open. He's all the way across the 40. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 41 in the running game, getting it done.
And these touch passes, it's so hard because there's always action off of it, right? If I fake this pass and I can run it up the gut or I can throw it and it just spread me out and make me defend so many things. And you could tell they got on the edge quickly, got the big first down.
The Sooners come to the line with a fresh set of downs. They'll run it out of the shotgun. There's some room. Attack. Touchdown, Oklahoma. He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him.
Well, they're able to punch that one in on the ground, and honestly, I'm not sure the defense really expected them to come out running the football considering how much they're down in this game. Probably expecting him to throw it a little bit more and have a little more sense of urgency. But either way, listen, for the offense, you just got to get on the board. You got to find a way to score somehow, some way. Now, they're down by a lot, David, and I don't know if they can keep running it moving forward.
They might not be able to keep running it, but they had to score on that possession. Now, defensively, you got to step up for them, right? Like, they got to get both sides of the football working together, but the defense is going to have to get some stops. But obviously, a bulk of the pressure is on this offense. Every possession is going to be so important.
Defense better dig in for the run. Heavy formation is there. Here's Brown to begin the drive. Good, solid run on that one as he gets it up to the 33-yard line. Following that run, we have a player who is shaken up. That is the senior running back who's slow to get up. Holly will keep an eye on things on the sideline for us. 8-yard pickup on first down leaves them with 2nd and short. Here's Arch to throw. Here comes the heat. And he's left with no option. He just threw it away.
Know the situation, know the game of football, right? When I start to get outside the pocket, I don't see anything there, I can throw the ball away. I don't have to take a sack, get a lost yardage play. I can just throw the ball out of bounds as long as it passes the line of scrimmage. We go on to the next down. No harm, no foul.
It'll be 3rd and short from their own 33. Now try to move the sticks with Brown. He gets it so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. Brown again. He's brought down, but not before he picks up the first down and a gutsy call to keep this drive alive.
Yeah, I like the confidence of the coaches. When you're an offensive coach, you got to be aggressive nowadays. And going for it in your own territory, it used to be, no, you can't do that. Now, everybody's like, you know what? Analytically, that makes sense.
Got it behind the line. It's Townsend. Hit and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
And nice job by the defense staying glued to him. Getting him on the ground as soon as he catches the football. Knowing he's a threat. I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the D.
Gets it to the back. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
Love the play by the defense. They just did a good job understanding where the running back was on that play. After the catch, they're able to make the tackle right away, and now they've set up 3rd down.
Now facing a 3rd and long. Manning from the gun on 3rd down. Zings it complete to the right. Oh, he didn't get there, and what a stop against an offense that's been magnificent on 3rd down. And the Longhorns will send out the punt unit. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. Solid punt, headed toward the sideline, trying to make it tough to return. The Sooner offense returns to the field. This feels like a pivotal moment. Get the ball back on the punt. You need to put points on the board on this drive.
Yeah, its sense of urgency right now has got to be high for this offense. Trailing the way they are here, David, they've got to be able to put something together, score some points, and build confidence.
Yeah, it's not panic time, but you do want to build that confidence and find something that you can do well to start to build on. I think this offense is starting to figure themselves out a little bit.
To throw, it's Mateer. Gliding to the right, still trying to make a play. Finds his man, it's Sategna. He got loose, almost housed it, finally dragged down at the 32.
He's been a matchup problem all season long. Defenses just don't know how to solve the puzzle. And with that last catch, over 500 yards receiving now on the year for him.
The Sooners come to the line after the big connection and going back to work. The give on the counter. Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
And after taking a big loss on that run, you just wonder if you're on offense, if you may abandon that part of your game and just start trying to throw it. You're down by a lot here in the second half. Third quarter, you've got lots of time, but you need to throw the football to get back in this thing.
Back to pass on 2nd down. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
And this offensive line's got to do a little better job, man. You've got to give your quarterback time to go through his progressions from go to 1 to 2 and then maybe make a play. And he goes off of his first target, and you can tell he did not have much time getting hit as he's trying to throw the football. You've got to protect your quarterback.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Right down the middle. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Bringing it back. And a tremendous return will be stopped at the 28-yard line.
And what a great job by the defense that time. Cover 1, man coverage, and did you see how everybody was impressed? When you press receivers, you disrupt their timing. You get your hands on them at the line of scrimmage, you jam them, and it completely disrupts the quarterback and his thought process, and that time, that was a big reason that ball got INT'd.
Hit as he throws. Not able to hook up there, incomplete.
And that's exactly the response you want now from your defense. Your offense just turns the football over, puts you in a really bad spot. Great job being ready on 1st down, playing the pass, now forcing a 2nd down. You want to force the field goal here. Obviously the bad field position, but the defense responds on 1st down.
To throw, Manning. Grabbed over the middle. It's Townsend. He'll be brought down at the 3-yard line. An explosive play in the passing game has him on the doorstep. The Longhorns line it up with a 1st and goal. They'll run it in the red zone. It's Brown. He cannot get it in. A mere inches away from pay dirt. The Longhorns want to crank the tempo. Back to pass. It's Manning. Safe completion on the screen. Touchdown, Texas! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. They've extended this lead, guys, but sometimes in a rivalry game, you get down and you fight back that much harder.
Man, you've seen crazy comebacks and crazy swings of momentum in rivalry games. You just need that first thing to break your way, Palmer.
And I think it really comes down to their key playmakers, David. They can come back, but these guys need to take ownership. Now's the time. In this type of game, they have got to step up and start making plays.
He'll bring it out. It's Sategna. I imagine he's going to get an earful on the sideline after bringing it out of the end zone and being knocked down at the 11. This drive will commence from their own 11-yard line. Looking to throw on 1st down. Fires to the wideout. Makes the grab. It's Sategna. Turning it on. The 40. The 30. Inside the... And he got away from the defense and takes it in. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And the extra point is good, but they still trail 35-21. That one's going to get a little star marked beside it on the play sheet. One play, explosive, touchdown, just like that. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. this possession. They'll start on the ground with Brown. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1.
Well, this defense knew coming into this one, if they could stop the run, it was going to be really, really hard on the offense. And I just love the tenacity they're playing with right now. This front seven are flying around, getting to the ball carrier. This running back has had nowhere to go today.
Beautifully thrown ball. Terrific catch, and they'll have the first down. Hookem is hooking up with some big plays in the passing game.
Finding their guys down the field. You think about offenses that Texas usually have, some form of spread, and then find those elite guys on the outside that can win those matchups for you and make those big plays.
Midway point in the season, and games like this one can have a big impact on the rankings from week to week as we see upsets happen and favorites continuing to flex muscle. They'll go back to work with a first down in the final period. The run inside. It's Smothers. And there was nowhere to go. Just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
They make the stop at the 41, but it's a 15-yard pickup, and they're rolling with a first down.
You see a lot of offenses late in the football game with a lead get conservative. I like they didn't. Like, they trusted the passing game. You're going to get looks that you know what they are. Defense has to be aggressive. You know, they have to be aggressive because they're down. They've got to get to the quarterback. They've got to get stops. Nice job throwing the football there.
Might have a chance. He's finally stopped, but not before he takes it into the red zone. They'll mark it at the 18. The Longhorns will snap it on 1st and 10. Motion from the wideout. Right back to the well. He stopped at the 14-yard line, and they'll stay on the attack from there. Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Running inside. It's Smothers. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. Boy, they'd love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal. On 3rd down, here's Brown. Touchdown, Longhorns! And they take it in for 6 more points. They extend this 4th quarter lead, and now they are staring at a 7-game winning streak. And Bevo's really starting to snarl right now, and he'd love to rub the Sooner Schooner's face right in it, David.
Yeah, they got it cooking. The Longhorns are looking good. In this rivalry game, you got half the crowd in this burnt orange, Jesse, that is going bananas right now.
Boomer Sooners got the weapons, though, guys, on offense. You've got the horses on the outside to turn this thing into a track meet. I know you're down here, but you can change this game. It just takes one play.
He found some really good running room on that one and just about got loose. As it is, good return to set up the drive. So here comes the Oklahoma offense. We've certainly seen better performances from this group. You have to hope that they'll grow from this, but this is going to be one that they're going to kick themselves over for a while. That's reeled in. It's Harris. At the 35, he's loose. Turning on the Jets. Touchdown Sooners. A great catch and run for 6.
This receiver is dangerous because of what he can do after the catch. Once he has the football, he is so good at making defenders miss. You saw it on that play.
And the extra point was good as they finished the drive. That drive not too taxing on the playbook. One play, put it in the end zone just like that. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. And the offense out on the field to go back to work. Here's Brown to begin the drive. Defense in the right spot. They stop him after a gain of 2 to the 28.
Well, the offense has the lead, and we call this 4-minute offense. This is a situation that teams around the country practice, having the lead late in the game and needing to ice it by running the football and throwing high-percentage passes.
Caught over the middle. It's Townsend. And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks. Again, it's Brown. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
And this one isn't over because the defense still has 3 timeouts left, but man, that clock is ticking, and they can just run the football up multiple possessions. They're going to need something magical to happen. They're going to need to start stripping at that football, create some turnovers, and get lucky down the stretch.
They'll snap it from the 36. They've got a first down. One more time, it's Brown. Knocked down behind the line. Boy, he powered through one tackler, but there were more there to greet him.
Well, the defense was ready for that. Offense trying to toss it to get to the perimeter of the football field, but there was just too many defenders. Running back was able to make the first guy miss, couldn't make the second one, though, and it's a loss of yard.
Ball is loose. Recovers the fumble, and he's on the move. And wait just a second. The official's going to take a second look at this one. And you know the standard is indisputable video evidence, and the officials will change the call. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Manning from the gun on 3rd down. Got his man on the right. They'll move the chains. Good execution on 3rd down. They've got it at the 41.
Defense just hasn't had an answer for this guy. He has been on point. This is about as good as I've seen him play at the quarterback position. And here in the 4th quarter with a big lead, he's still taking shots.
The give and tick, 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 tick. Defense right there to stop him in his tracks, and they get nothing on that play.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
4 wide out set, 2 on either side on 2nd and 10. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and the clock is definitely on their side. They'll just try to run it out here. Ordinarily on 2nd and 10, you might look past, but here you just want to keep that clock moving. Grab behind the line. It's Wingo. And there were no creases or crevices to run through, and they shove him out of bounds.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great way to go.
Manning lines up in the gun on 3rd down. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that 3rd down right there, when it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
They already have a comfortable lead up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down. Manning to throw for it on fourth. Converts on fourth down, and he's still going. There he goes. And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Texans! That lead a little more comfortable now as they close in on extending this winning streak.
And this offense continuing to put up points. This game's out of reach. You know you're going to win, but still throwing the football, still finding that connection. I imagine there'll be some salty handshakes at the end of this game.
And the extra point splits the uprights, and they're up a full 3 touchdowns, a 21-point cushion in the fourth. Coming out with it, it's Sategna. Gets it out to the 20, about 5 yards short of where he'd be if he'd just taken a knee in the end zone. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. Looking downfield, it's Mateer. Throws to the wideout. Through his hands and incomplete. He normally makes that catch every time. It's second down.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things that we're going to show in the film room that
he felt the heat trying to get away, but down he goes. He'll lose a yard or two.
And I tell you what, this defense, they've heard all about how great this quarterback is. They came in today with a mission, with a purpose. They've been flying around, harassing him, and making life so hard on this offense.
Now 3rd and long, and trying to play catch-up in more ways than one after that earlier sack. From the gun, wants to pass. Turns it loose. And it's incomplete despite some serious arm strength shown there.
It's been tough for this QB in this one. Very small windows to throw into, and he's been under some duress as well. It's hard to find a rhythm as a QB in those types of situations, and that's why it appears as though his team's going to be leaving here with an L.
And guys, hold that thought just a second, because here comes the 4th down play. If they don't get it here, this one is probably over. Might be calling a hot route. On 4th down, looking to pass. And that is interception number 3 on the day. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
Well, man, we've seen explosive offensive firepower all game long, and here we are late in an obvious passing situation trying to get this thing close. The big INT, finally the defense makes a play, and David, it looks like they just closed the door on this one.
Well, and you know, Mr. Quarterback, defense wins championships. And how do you seal a game? The defense coming up with a big moment. Yes, obvious passing situation. You know they're going to throw it. The big INT, and that might seal their fate. And I'm a fan of this, man. Run the football, eat the clock. We got the lead. This offense has put together a nice day, man. Like, just balance, rhythm, timing, play calling, everything has worked. That's why they built this lead. They've had a great day today.
Tough run, gets it into the red zone, and they knock him down at the 17. And the Longhorns come to the line on 3rd down, trying to keep this drive alive. It was the Longhorns who will ride off into the sunset with the coveted Golden Hat Trophy after beating their despised rival to the north. This has been a presentation of EA Sports College Football. For David Pollack, Jesse Palmer, and Holly Rowe, I'm Reese Davis, saying goodbye, everybody.